On a cold December night in Boulder, Colorado, a little girl's laughter was silenced forever, leaving a community shattered and a nation in shock. The haunting mystery of JonBenét Ramsey captivates the world, drawing countless investigators and amateur sleuths into its web of secrets. Who was behind this unspeakable crime? Was it a stranger lurking in the shadows or someone from within her own home? As we peel back the layers of this tragic story, we uncover chilling truths and unanswered questions that continue to haunt us. Patsy Ramsey, the mother of 6-year-old beauty queen JonBenét, woke to a parent's worst nightmare. Her heart raced as she discovered something was terribly wrong. A ransom note left on the back staircase announced her daughter's kidnapping. The note was chilling, filled with demands and threats. The note, lengthy and rambling, demanded $118,000 for JonBenét's safe return. Panic ensued as the gravity of the situation set in. Patsy and her husband John, a wealthy businessman, immediately contacted the police, their voices trembling with fear and desperation. The house, a crime scene in the making, was soon swarming with officers. The once festive home was now a hub of frantic activity. A frantic search began, but the atmosphere was chaotic. Officers moved through the house, searching for any clue that could lead them to JonBenét. Friends and family arrived, adding to the confusion rather than bringing calm. The house was filled with people, each one contributing to the growing chaos. Precious time was slipping away. Every second that passed felt like an eternity, with the hope of finding JonBenét alive diminishing. Hours passed, each tick of the clock increasing the tension. Then a discovery that would change everything. John Ramsey, accompanied by a friend, decided to search the basement. Their hearts pounded as they descended into the darkness. In a small windowless room, he found what he thought was a doll. The dim light played tricks on his eyes, but this was no plaything. The realization hit him like a ton of bricks. It was the lifeless body of his daughter, JonBenét. The sight was too much to bear. She lay there, her delicate features frozen in a mask of terror. The innocence of her young life cruelly snatched away. The news of JonBenét's death sent shockwaves through the community and beyond. The media descended upon the Ramsey home, turning it into a spectacle. The image of the young beauty queen with her blonde curls and captivating smile became seared into the public consciousness. Her face was everywhere, a haunting reminder of the tragedy. How could such a horrific crime happen in a seemingly perfect family, in a quiet, affluent town? The question lingered in the minds of everyone. The search for answers had begun, but it would be a journey fraught with missteps, inconsistencies, and enduring mystery. The case of JonBenét Ramsey would become one of the most infamous and perplexing in American history, leaving a legacy of unanswered questions and a community forever changed. Join me as we delve into the mystery that remains unsolved to this day. Welcome to Enigma Uncharted, and subscribe for more real-life enigmas. The autopsy of JonBenét Ramsey painted a grim picture, revealing the brutality she endured in her final moments. The cause of death was determined to be asphyxiation due to strangulation, a thin cord found embedded in her delicate skin. A ligature mark, a stark reminder of her violent end, circled her tiny neck. Adding to the horror, the autopsy revealed a skull fracture. This significant injury inflicted with blunt force spoke of a rage-fueled attack. The blow, likely delivered before the strangulation, added another layer of complexity to the already perplexing case. The examination also pointed to a possible sexual assault, though inconclusive. There was evidence of vaginal trauma, further deepening the mystery surrounding JonBenét's death. The thought of a 6-year-old enduring such horrific abuse shook the nation, intensifying the demand for justice. The autopsy, while providing crucial information about JonBenét's final moments, also raised more questions than answers. Who could inflict such violence on a child? What motivated this heinous act? The search for truth was just beginning, and the autopsy findings became the foundation of a complex and baffling puzzle. From the moment the 911 call ended, the investigation into JonBenét Ramsey's death was riddled with errors. The chaotic scene at the Ramsey residence, compounded by the family's influence and the holiday season, created a perfect storm for crucial mistakes. The most glaring error was the mishandling of the crime scene. Instead of immediately securing the house, officers allowed friends and family to roam freely. This oversight led to potential contamination of evidence, compromising the integrity of the investigation from the outset. Adding to the turmoil, John Ramsey was permitted to discover his daughter's body in the basement. This breach of protocol further tainted the crime scene, making it impossible to determine if he had moved or tampered with any evidence. The delayed interview of the Ramseys, another misstep, allowed them ample time to align their stories. This delay hindered the investigators' ability to obtain spontaneous and potentially revealing responses. The combination of these critical errors cast a long shadow over the entire investigation, fueling suspicion and hindering the pursuit of justice for JonBenét. Section 4. Shadows of Doubt, the Ramsey family under scrutiny. As the investigation progressed, the focus shifted towards JonBenét's family, placing them under a harsh spotlight. The media frenzy was relentless, with cameras and reporters constantly surrounding their home, capturing every moment of their distress and confusion. The ransom note, a bizarre and lengthy document, became a focal point. It was filled with unusual phrases and an odd tone that seemed almost theatrical, making it stand out from typical ransom notes. Its unusual length and theatrical tone raised red flags, leading some to believe it was staged. The note's peculiarities made investigators question its authenticity and the true intentions behind it. Handwriting experts scrutinized the note, comparing it to Patsy Ramsey's writing samples. They meticulously analyzed every curve and stroke, looking for any signs that could link her to the note. While inconclusive, some similarities fueled suspicion, suggesting she might have penned the note in a moment of panic. The pressure on the family grew as these suspicions were leaked to the public. The note's demand for $118,000, remarkably close to John Ramsey's recent bonus, further heightened suspicions of family involvement. This specific amount seemed too coincidental to be ignored. Adding to the intrigue, the behavior of JonBenét's 9-year-old brother, Burke, drew attention. His reactions and demeanor were closely monitored by both investigators and the media. Some behavioral experts analyzing footage of Burke suggested his demeanor was unusual for a child who had just lost his sister. They noted his calmness and lack of visible grief, which seemed out of place given the circumstances. His seemingly detached behavior fueled speculation, leading some to believe he might have been involved in JonBenét's death. Theories ranged from accidental involvement to more sinister possibilities. The cloud of suspicion hanging over the Ramsey family deepened the mystery. Every action and reaction of the family members was scrutinized, adding to the public's fascination and the media's relentless coverage. Were they victims of a horrific crime, or were they intricately involved in orchestrating a cover-up? The question lingered, dividing public opinion and complicating the investigation. The lines between grief and guilt blurred, leaving investigators grappling with more questions than answers. The case remained a tangled web of emotions, evidence, and endless speculation, with no clear resolution in sight. Section 5. The intruder theory. Was it someone JonBenét knew? While suspicions swirled around the Ramsey family, the possibility of an intruder couldn't be ignored. The media frenzy and public scrutiny often overshadowed this crucial angle. The Ramseys' home, despite its affluence, wasn't impenetrable. Security measures were in place, but they were not foolproof. A broken basement window discovered during the initial investigation offered a potential entry point for an intruder. This window had been previously broken and was not properly secured. Adding weight to this theory, DNA evidence collected from JonBenét's clothing didn't match anyone in the Ramsey family. This crucial piece of evidence pointed towards an unknown assailant. This unidentified male DNA, a crucial piece of the puzzle, suggested the involvement of an unknown individual in JonBenét's assault and murder. The presence of this DNA raised more questions than answers. Investigators explored various potential suspects, including individuals with a history of sexual offenses against children. They delved into criminal records and profiles, hoping to find a match. They meticulously followed leads, interviewing neighbors, acquaintances, and even individuals who had sent fan mail to JonBenét. Each interview brought them closer to understanding the possible connections. However, despite their efforts, the DNA profile remained unidentified, leaving the intruder theory tantalizingly unsolved. The frustration among investigators grew as they hit dead end after dead end. The intruder theory, with its tangible evidence and unanswered questions, presented a compelling alternative to the family-centered suspicion. It opened up a new avenue of investigation that couldn't be ignored. Was JonBenét the victim of a random act of violence, preyed upon by a stranger who slipped through the cracks of their seemingly secure world? The idea of an unknown predator lurking in the shadows was terrifying. The mystery deepened, leaving investigators and the public alike to grapple with the unsettling possibilities. The case remained a haunting enigma, with the truth seemingly just out of reach. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment and share to Enigma Uncharted.